What's up, everybody? Welcome to 2020. This is my first video to start off the year. My name is KAMANI ALANA, and if you've never been here before, then welcome. And if you have, thank you for coming back to watch all the shenanigans that kind of go down on this channel, and I'm happy to do so for you guys. So let's talk about the new Vanish Airbrush Concealers by Hourglass. Now, you guys know I'm a little obsessed, like a little obsessed with Hourglass Cosmetics. I've been a fan for a very long time, and so this is their first liquid concealer that they're coming out with. So it's like a cream liquid concealer, and so I'm ready to get into this. So let's start. So here's the unicorn. It's the same as always. It has the reflective packaging here, brown, gold, or I'll say bronze and gold, that they always come out with. You know it's Hourglass because they stick to the same packaging. And now what? We have the bronze cap. This is the actual bottle that it comes in. You know, a lot of times they're very simple, very classy, very elegant. We like that about Hourglass, as they are a luxury brand. So this looks real cute. Like, I was sent 2 shades. So this one is in beach and this one is in dune, because I was a color match. So we are gonna try these out together and see what happens. Also, what I was sent was this Vanish Seamless Finish concealer brush, which is supposed to make everything just airbrush and buff in very nicely. But let's go over some stats of these new concealers before we just head into this video. First of all, this Vanish Airbrush Concealer comes in 22 shades, dolls, just to let you guys know. It's waterproof, and of course, as always, as they always make their product, it is cruelty-free and vegan. It's also full coverage, and it dries down to a natural finish, and it's for oily, combination, and dry skin. And also, did I mention that this concealer is supposed to be waterproof? We'll be the judge of that. Let's go. Now, before I get started, we're going to sort of do in combination how this concealer is going to work with other Hourglass products. Now, this product is actually part of the Vanish line. So there is Vanish foundation, there's Vanish concealer, there's a lot of Vanish things going on along with veil powder and things like that. So I kind of want to see what this concealer does with the actual Vanish foundation as well, and how well it wears. So before I even get started, let's start with our Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. You guys know how I feel about this primer, honey. It is thebomb.com. This is my Veil Mineral Primer. So let's start with her first and get her together on this face and prime. So I'm gonna pump a little bit on my fingers here. Bam. We're gonna take a little bit. Don't freak out. It is white. It is oil, yeah, but it goes right into the skin, I promise. Now, before we start with our Vanish Airbrush Concealer, we're gonna go in with the Vanish Seamless Foundation. Hello, you guys heard about this one? Full coverage, it comes down, it finishes in a natural finish. It is for normal, dry, oily skin as well. And this one is supposed to be waterproof as well. So let me tell you guys just one tidbit, one little nugget you guys need to know about this foundation. So I know the reviews were a little bit from left to right. Some people were like, yes, this foundation is everything. And some people were like, girl, I don't know. One thing that I found with this foundation, because of the fact that it is pretty much as true as you can get to waterproof, when you are using a sponge to put this on is a no-no, because you have to wet this, put water in this as well, right? So when you put these two together, because of the fact this is waterproof, it's repelling the water in your sponge. So it starts to separate the foundation as you're putting it on. Aha. See what I'm saying? So if you haven't tried the actual brush, this brush is amazing. And now I understand why, because I used both. I used the sponge and it was sort of separating, right? You use the brush, now you have the Vanish Seamless Full Coverage Airbrush look. So I just wanted to share that detail with you guys because it makes a huge difference. So let's go in with this foundation and we're gonna use our brush for it. So let's start with my Golden Amber, and we're gonna put her right there, boo. Okay, and it only takes 1 pump. That's what it says. 1 pump, y'all, will get your life together. I promise you, like, it's correct. Now let me get my mirror and get this party started, and let's do it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, since I put it on my brush here, and I promise you guys, watch watch how this life go, because she real in these streets. You feel me? Look how that 1 pump is already like spreading. It's like, girl, it's like we're real in these streets. They were not joking. And it's so much better to use a brush because it's not pulling the product at all. And it's not separating the product at all either, because this brush clearly was designed just for the culture of this foundation. Yes, look at that beautiful finish though. It's like, hold on, let me get my creases out. I'll be like, if we gonna do full coverage in here, ha! I am like a true golden amber right now. Yes, okay, so you guys know, if you've ever watched my videos before, like 1 minute I can be so dark, I can be 5 shades darker than this, and then the next video I'd be like 3 shades lighter. It's crazy. My skin be all over the place. But today, okay, today I am a true golden amber. Taking the same Vanish foundation, and I'm just going in with warm almond. As you can see, it's significantly darker than my face, but we're just gonna warm my face up. So I'm just gonna put like a little dot here, a little something up here, because you guys already know this stuff is full coverage, honey. Ooh, girl, you already see, like, this is crazy. You know what? Let me just see, okay? This, you guys can see this is warming me up a little bit, honey, a little bit. Let's just warm my perimeter of my face up just a little bit here. This brush is doing really, really well. And now that I am layering this foundation layers really, really nicely. My skin is looking real cute right now. I don't even have concealer on right now, okay? So now here's the real review, the real test up in here. So we're gonna go in with the now Vanish concealer that's going to see if this really seamlessly blends in with my Vanish foundation here. And so I have 2 shades here, which this one is in Dune, which you can see that's definitely a nice golden undertone. That's gonna look really pretty. This one may be a little light. I don't know, I think it's a little light. This one's in Beach, but I don't know. I think we should start off with Dune first, because that looks like it's gonna match a little bit. And then if I need to lighten it up, then we'll go in with Beach on top of it. We'll just see what happens with that. But let's not forget, we're gonna go in with the Hourglass. This is the new Vanish airbrush brush, I guess what they call it. And with the thing with this is I trust it, because again, this concealer is waterproof. So I'm just gonna use a brush on this one. I would usually use a beauty blender. A lot of times I do that with a lot of other concealers, but because this concealer is waterproof, exactly how the foundation is, and it was separating when you're trying to use a lot of moisture that is in your beauty blender to apply the foundation, I'm afraid that will end up happening with this particular concealer. So I'm gonna use the brush that comes with this, and it's supposed to give it an airbrush finish, so let's put her to the test. All right, so let's go in with Dune. Let's look at this applicator here. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good, so let's just do a swipe. Okay, like, you know how you can feel the concealer, whether, I mean, this is a liquid concealer, but it is hella creamy, and I already can tell this is a hell of full coverage. So let's just see what happens. I'm just gonna do a little bit more because I might already be doing too much. So let's see. Yes, oh wow. I think this is gonna be a really good color, a really good shade. So let's just start there, honey, because Lord knows we can always add more. So let's just see what we got here. So I'm gonna take the brush that it comes with, and we are just going to see how she does. Now the brush it's really soft though, which is good, especially when I gotta get up all in my eye here. So let's see what she does. I always like the stipple product as well. Ooh, she she is creamy for real. And let's just get over the eye here just a little bit, and my lid here, and let's just see how we feel about that. Okay, yeah, she full coverage. She's definitely spreading really, really nicely. And then let's see on the other side here. Wow. It almost feels like I let this side sit a little bit while I was doing this side. So it's like, girl, it's creamy. So let's try to rub a little bit more on this side. I'm so used to stippling, but let's just see what the brush does when it rubs, when I am actually pulling the product out. I'm trying to see if this is leaving streaks here when I'm pulling it. And let me just give it a chance here, because I see streaks at first, but let me just give it a chance here and see what this does. Okay, I will say this much. When I was first putting it on, it was streaking a bit, for sure. So I was like, I don't know about this brush. But now that it's starting to dry and become a little bit more opaque, it is looking really, really nice, and it's not streaking in that way. So what I'm thinking is almost like how I do my nars concealer, where I let it sit for a minute and then I start to blend it in, whether it be with a beauty blender or my finger or even a brush. I kind of let it really sit on my skin, warm up my skin, and just dry down just a tad. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna wanna do that with this particular concealer as well. I'm actually gonna go in a little bit more. I just have deep inside eye, so I'm just literally gonna go in my creases right here. I'm gonna go a little bit right here, and I'm gonna try to highlight with this. So let's see what happens when I'm trying to highlight my certain areas here. So we're gonna go back in with this, and I'm just gonna take a little bit, because you guys see that it dispersed very nicely on my skin. It didn't have a problem with that. So it doesn't look like I need like a whole lot of concealer to make it work. I'm just gonna take like just a little bit right there to highlight my chin, honey. And then I'm also gonna take just a little bit in here, because you guys already know I need to get these laugh lines, these creases. I need to lock these down all the way. So that's what we're doing today. And then I'm also gonna just take like right in here, just to fill that in a little bit. And what I'm gonna do this time is I'm just gonna let it dry down a little bit, and then see if the theory works as it dries down just a little bit. And I let it sit and warm up to my skin once I go with the brush, if that's going to sort of eliminate the initial, streaks that I might have had from the brush, and see how much of an airbrush look I'm gonna get from the brush. Okay, so it's been about a minute and a half or so. Let's just see what happens. I'm just gonna start down here. Okay, that went in nicely. Love that. Sometimes I just use my finger to stipple the product in, because my finger is warm, and it just kind of almost acts like sort of like a beauty blender without it being a beauty blender, you know what I'm saying? And then what I'm gonna do is just kind of come into my forehead here. And as you guys saw, I didn't need to use a lot at all. And I'm just gonna kind of pull this out a little bit here. And I'm just gonna use my finger a little bit here, just to, just to blend in and stipple them lines. We don't need no lines. We want it all to just blend in. And then I'm gonna take it down my nose here. Now let's go in here. I definitely wanna go in here in my laugh lines. You guys know how I do. And let's see if there's, since I let the concealer dry down, let's see if there's any initial like streaking. And there's not. It's doing a lot better this time now that I let it dry down a little bit. So there's not really any streaking like that at all. Right, so yeah, I would definitely let this dry down just a little bit before you start using this brush. And then let's see if I can just sort of stipple this in, I just want a little extra coverage today with this concealer, and by golly, we got it. I feel like it's gonna be a banger, a winner for me. By the way, did I say on the packaging, it says it's supposed to be 16-hour creaseless wear? We gonna see about that, okay? Before I start acting like a fool, when I start loving something, you guys know I'll be acting crazy. I'll be acting like a fool because I'll be so excited like about something, but let me just get to it, honey. I always say, even if it's a brand that you love and they come out with something new, every product is different. So you just gotta make sure, you gotta think of every product as its own individual, okay? We're just gonna kind of come back in just to clean up those lines a little bit. This will kind of act as my sponge instead, which this brush really works beautifully. I'm just gonna say it doesn't streak at all, and it's very dense, so it doesn't do that. Now, this concealer brush, not bad. It worked. It looked pretty good, and look how seamless like everything is looking here, you guys. Like, the undertones are beautiful. It looks beautiful, you guys. So now we're gonna have to go in with the Veil Powder by Hourglass. This is the Veil Translucent Powder. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this one before as well. You know I get scared about translucent powders, especially if there isn't like a light, medium, and a deep. There's only one color. But for that said, let me show you guys the undertones on this one, which is beautiful, by the way. and it works every time. It's this beautiful yellow golden undertone. It works on every skin tone. It is beautiful. Listen, Hourglass did it again, and it's just beautiful. You just have to go lightly on the powder. It's very, very silky, which is really, really nice. So let's go in and just tap her down. Now I'm just gonna do the perimeter of my face, and then I'm gonna bake underneath. One thing about this powder, it is a beautiful powder when you want it to set your foundation and you still want that creamy emollient look to your foundation. But this is not the best powder to bake with when you're trying to lock down all them creases, when you're trying to get it in and you're trying to do a drag beat, you're trying to do a drag bake. That's not what this one is for. So, but first we're gonna go in with the veil, and then I'll show you guys what we're gonna go in afterward, just to bake underneath. But first we just need to go in with this veil, so let's go. So let's go in with my dual-ended brush right here. This powder is so finely milled, honey. If you see the smoke show, you already know. So we're just kind of coming in a little bit here, and I just like to stipple the product in. And as you can see, as I'm powdering, look how emollient my foundation still looks, okay? Look at my little H, y'all. Right? H for the powder. That's hella cute. One thing that I do love about Hourglass brushes as well, I'm gonna take a little bit of that powder real quick. Listen, they have dome shaped, the dual end brushes, and let me tell you something, they just be getting right up in my edges right here. They don't get my edges, they get close enough, as you guys can see, and boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't have powdered edges. Okay, since we are sticking with vegan, cruelty-free, I am just going to go in with my Milk makeup. This is my translucent powder. Now, usually I would use it in medium, but I'm gonna use it in light today. And I'm actually, because we're just powdering and I'm not going straight away over the foundation, I am gonna stick that in there, which is my booty blender right there. Come on, booty blender. And now, we are gonna take this and we're gonna get right under the eyes. Bow, bow, bow. Boom, pow, boom. Like I said, since we're sticking with cruelty-free, vegan, no parabens in either the Hourglass or the Milk, here we go. So I'm gonna bake just for a couple more minutes, and I am going to put this face together for you guys, and I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on this new Vanish Airbrush Concealer. Boom, and we're back in one take. You guys love good edit, right? I swear to God, like, it's everything. One minute you bare face, the next minute you beat to the gods, honey. So let's get into this new Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I really like it. I literally took my time to do my makeup. It's literally like 2 hours later, y'all, because I had my earphones in. I was just doing junk around the house like you guys know I usually do. I just like to take my time to do my makeup. And so with this is what's sitting. I haven't had to touch up, and it is giving me a airbrush finish though, if y'all didn't notice. I mean, full coverage for sure, super creamy. So when you put it on, this is not a light coverage type of concealer. This is a full coverage concealer, okay? So just know this. It doesn't say light to medium. It don't even say medium to full. Like, you just gonna get full coverage, which is great, but it's creamy though, which is really nice. It's not drying out. Now, mind you, while I was doing my makeup, even as I was doing my eyes, I put lashes on and everything like that, I kept that bake going on. And as you can see, like, even though I kept the bake going on, I'm not all dried out. And sometimes I have to be really careful with that with certain concealers, because sometimes I only can put a bake on for maybe all of like 60 seconds, the most 2 minutes, but I had my bake on the entire time. Really, like, I only took it off like right when I put my blush on and my lips, but for the most part, like, honey, like, look at this face. Like, listen, Hourglass did it again. I'm just gonna be honest, like, there's nothing I can say bad about this concealer. But hold on, skirt. One thing though, I was a little surprised by the shade range. So this shade range right here, I thought there was gonna be more in the deeper tones, and I'm not sure why, because Hourglass usually comes correct when it comes to their shades. They don't play. So again, Hourglass coming in with NARS and other brands, one of the few that actually had a full shade range and going into some beautiful deeper shades well before a lot of these other brands ever did. And that's why I just mess with Hourglass in the first place, and their undertones are impeccable, which they're impeccable with this concealer. I just need to see some more deeper shades. But with that said, that's the only thing I have to, you know, say about that. I'm not complaining because the undertones are nice, but I'm just a little, you know, it's just a little cause for pause. I'm hoping, and I hope Hourglass. You see me, you know I love you guys, we work together, but just to let you know, I would really like to see some deeper shades in there, and I also would like to see some shades in between. So if this is the first launch, not bad for the first launch, I will say that much. I definitely found my shade, which I'm really in the medium shade, and Dune is like in the medium to tan shade. So clearly there's, you know, quite a few shades after my shade, just to let you guys know. And really quick for a cap, since I did my makeup off camera, I just want to go into what I use on my eyes and other things that I use on my face really quickly. I'll also leave the description down below, but I went into these NARS Afterglow. This is the new palette that just came out. The packaging is always impeccable. Look at these beautiful colors. As you can see, this is on my eyes, and I dipped into some other colors as well. And then for my brows, listen, I went into the Goof Proof Brow Benefit, just sent me a bunch of stuff, and I've gotten into their stuff a little bit over the years, but I'm gonna tell you, this Goof Proof Brow was bomb. And then I also paired it with this Precision Brow Pencil as well, like bomb. This just filled in my eyebrows really quick, and this just precisely just cut these brows out. So I was like, yes, Benefit, like I'm getting into Benefit a little bit here. For a little bit of that glow, the contour going on here, just to warm me up around the perimeter, I went in with the Marc Jacobs. This is the flat bronzer. This one is actually in Tantalize. This is the darker shade that they came out with. Thank you, Lord Jesus. For my blush, I went in with NARS as well. This is their Afterglow. It's part of that collection, but this is the Overlust blush palette. The shades are a little bit darker in person, but they're just really beautiful nude shades. As you can see, it just blends in my skin really well. It just gives me like that pop of color, and just keeps it very soft. For my lips, I didn't even go with a lipstick today. I just went in with my NARS. This is the Afterglow Lip Balm. This one is actually an Orgasm. Now this one fits every skin tone. I don't care how deep you are. I don't care how light you are, honey. This one right here is a banger. It's just, let me put some more right now, honey. Yes, it just gives you that beautiful tint, and it is a Afterglow balm, so it just moisturizes your lips and it gives you that beautiful tint of color. And then as you can see, the glow that I have going on in here, I just went into my Marc Jacobs here, and this is the Guilty Omega Glaze. And as beautiful as that is, this honey, if you haven't gotten into this, you really need to get into this. And I just took a little bit of that and put it here on my lips, and just to give me some of that glow, just to go on with sort of the soft look that I have going on. The lashes I have going on are the Miami Lashes by Lily Lashes. And then these bottom lashes are popping because I also went in with my NARS. This mascara right here is bomb.com. I use that on my bottom lashes as well, so you can see my bottom lashes are really popping. Thank you so much for joining me in yet another review. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. Show me some love. I love it so much. I work really hard. I take time, you know, I invest in this to let you guys know what the tea is when I find items that I really like, and maybe sometimes items that I don't like, just to let you know, to inform you guys. So go ahead and subscribe and leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this new concealer that I have going on here. So pop your comments down below. Let me know what's going on with y'all. And don't forget to hit your notification button so you never miss a video by me ever again. And until next time, I will keep the shenanigans down to a minimum until I see you guys again. Mwah.